it does seem either written in the stars or it could be.
It's felt like it all season, hasn't it?
I don't think it has felt like it all season. I don't think.
What I mean is just the Martin O'Neill parts, even like the Cup semi-final against Rangers in the League Cup, and then Celtic decided if we kept him for 3 weeks longer than he should have been, they would then get rid of him the week before, which was a totally brainless idea, to be honest with you, because he would probably have won that Cup final against St Mirren. So you felt like that was written in the stars. Then you feel it's like he walked out the door the last time with a Scottish Cup. He's in the Scottish Cup final again, thinking, right, that's going to happen again. And now you've got going to Fir Park on the bike. I mean,
Lenny in the Cup final as well.
Like what's that?
Lenny in the Cup final as well. Neil Lennon in the Cup final. It's all these parts are seem to be falling into place. You're right. But, I mean, if Celtic can get through, I think, same as you, I do think Hearts will take care of Falkirk. I don't think it'll be a 3 or 4-0 that some people maybe think, which would mean that Celtic drew at Fir Park. It would be a real tough ask. So, I mean, but if both teams win, it goes down to the last day. At that point in time, does it swing in Celtic's favour? I mean, at Parkhead, on Sunday, the atmosphere was incredible. All the animosity has been parked. I mean, I'm sure it might come back at some point, but it's all been parked for now. The place is united. The atmosphere was probably as good as I've heard it for a long time. Do Celtic get it over the line if it gets to that last game?
I think it's a difficult one to call just now if you're talking about the goal difference thing. I think if Celtic get there and win the game, you win the. If Celtic win at Motherwell and Hearts win and it's 1 point and Celtic, I would fancy Celtic to win it. Yeah, I would actually. The way that the form they seem to be in, the fact that the big players seem to be up for it, and that's in no way been disrespectful to Hearts because they've risen to just about every challenge. They were even last week throwing a big challenge with Rangers going a goal down, and we can say what we like about Rangers' pea-heartedness at times, but.
Yeah,
they still managed to fight back and win it when they were asked a question. They came back for a goal down in the derby. I know Hibs lost players to red cards, but they still answered questions. So I wouldn't write them off. The goal difference one, I'm not quite as sure on. I think you would be paying Hearts a lot of disrespect to think, you need to win by 3 goals. Yes, Celtic are going to do that. I think that's been, for a team that's been top of the league, I think that's a tall order for Celtic, to be honest.
I think so. And listen, you're also up against a manager who... I mean, listen, Derek McKinnon has worked absolute wonders this season. I know people look at Jamestown Analytics. I think that's overplayed sometimes. Yeah. You look at what he got out of that Hearts team, who was most of them were there last season. Yeah, I think he's done an incredible job. And by the way, Hearts have not. These are tabloid terms. They haven't bottled it. They haven't collapsed. They've been there all season. There've been times when they've had Celtic and Rangers breathing down their neck, and that was the time to bottle it, and they didn't. I mean, going to beat Hibs and Rangers back to back, I thought was absolutely monumental. And
Celtic haven't beaten Hearts this season, so for people to think, all of a sudden Celtic are just going to beat them 3-0 because it's just written in this. I just don't think that's going to happen. I think Celtic have to win at Motherwell, or if they don't, then I think Hearts have to lose to Falkirk or drop points. I think Celtic I think it has to be a situation where Celtic can win it on points. Yeah, on Saturday, and if that is the case, I would fancy Celtic to do that. Yeah,
I just think that the power. I mean, I don't know if Celtic have I thought at some point this league's. I mean, I think after you mentioned Tannadice, I don't know if after that I thought, well, the balls and the slates, it's all done now, and they've kind of played with it a bit less pressure. But even in the last couple of weeks, I think they seem to have kind of embraced it, and they've done it. In fairness, I think we do need to now take a step back. Listen, we've been critical on this podcast and on the paper all season. We know what the deficiencies Celtic have got. We know the big problems with recruitment and all the rest of it, and certain guys aren't up to scratch. But what you cannot do is have any doubt about the mentality, the desire, the work rate. And I think it dawned on fans at some point as well that, okay, they're not watching maybe a vintage Celtic team that's knocking teams for 5 and 6. But what they're watching is a group of boys who are throwing everything into it, right? I mean, all these late goals are no coincidence. They've chucked everything at it, and I think fans have realised, you know what, this is an honest bunch. And by the way, if they do come up short, I think they might think, well, you know what, maybe this year they wasn't deserved anyway. But they can't fault these guys for going to the well, so to speak, every week, playing through the pain barrier, injured guys and all that stuff. Guys coming in out of nowhere. I mean, signings were made in January. We'll get to that once the dust is settled, I'm sure. No help whatsoever.
What happened to whoever has the best January has got the best chance of winning the league. As everyone said, Celtic signing you and me.
There's a few men in black pens coming out. Well, we're raising memories from that January. So the guys that have stayed there, I think you're now looking at, they deserve respect and kind of admiration, I think, for getting to this point. And they're now on the verge of doing something pretty special. I still think it's a tall order. I still think if Hearts can get the win and they think they can go to Celtic Park for a point to win the league, Derek McInnes is a kind of coach who, if you want one manager to play for a draw in Scotland, I think Derek McInnes is the man for that. I think he's the guy who hang. He's so organised, disciplined. The Hearts team, again, like Celtic, run through brick walls.
When was the last time you can remember that kind of happening, Michael? The last one I can really think of was it Rangers Aberdeen?
Aberdeen 91, wasn't it?
91, and Aberdeen only need a point and get sort of stuck betwixt and between about how they went about it. And
yeah.
Steamrolled.
Alex Smith in charge of Aberdeen. It was some of them. I think they lost Theo Snelders and Michael Watt was in goals for Aberdeen, wasn't he?
How they go about it, whether they sit in for the point. And Aberdeen have been great all season, scoring goals and. That's a tricky one, Michael, I think. Especially when you're injured and Mark Leonard been out,
I get that, but I think Hearts are dangerous that way. I don't think it'd be any different the way that Hearts would have played when they went to Parkhead under Wilfred Nancy. And by the way, Celtic should have been ahead at half time and get picked off in the break. I think that'd be right. I think it'd be right up his street. In fact, even if Hearts had to go and get a win, I still think they'd play that kind of way anyway.
Yeah,
try and stop Celtic first, and then try and hit on.
I do agree with you that there's been a certain level of. I don't want to say the word disrespect because that's no fair, but I think because of the enjoyment and the euphoria of Sunday for the Celtic fans, just get any team in here, we'll just deal with them. Yeah, you kind of get that feeling that they'll get. It would be tough, but I would fancy Celtic to do it. I would fancy on their home ground. You could just imagine it at 0-0 or 1 each in the second half with half an hour to go.
Yeah.
I mean, play the roof would be coming off. There'll be a lot for the Hearts players to handle.
It's still a Celtic team for all the criticism.
Yeah, it's and not very good. But do you not think that they've almost got a first choice back four back now?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But it's still got players in there who beat Braga, that beat Sturm Graz in Europe this season. They beat Feyenoord over in Holland. They've managed to produce big performances against decent. I mean, they drew with Bologna. Beat Utrecht, should have been 6-0 up. I have to think Utrecht are a good, decent enough Dutch team. So they have got levels in it. These guys in that, but that's what I'm saying. There's guys in that team: McGregor, Johnson, Engels, Maida. These kind of guys are thinking, well, I'm not scared to go and play against teams in Europa League, and I'm not scared to go to Bologna and keep the ball. I'm not going to be scared to go to Far Park and do it, or Parkhead against Hearts.
No.
For whatever reason, this season has been trickier. But I think they will. I think if they get through. And it comes to a shootout, I think Celtic are the favourites. I wouldn't put many money on it yet, but it's certainly going to be wild. And I mean, it's the first time I'm just joking, not Swanee. You know that old Swanee. This must be our professional work lifetimes. Our last day decided, isn't it? Really, I mean, in terms of two teams meeting in the last day.
In terms of two teams meeting, I can't remember the last time that happened.
Certainly not happened in our professional lifetime. So it's one to be embraced and enjoyed.